they can get it welded onto the middle, it'll be very difficult to get out, and that gives them a chance at a steal. And at this situation, to go 4-4 and tie it up, that would be ideal. Normally, if you just make contact with that and roll over, it's probably a pretty simple 2. And at this situation, they're thinking if they give up a deuce and go down by 3 points with 2 to go, that might be too tough to come back from. So a little bit of gambling mode here by the girls. But a little confusing for me on the ice here. So it's in the edge of the 4-foot. So typically you're going to look at the middle of the 8 for a draw free. So Rebecca might have a different trick up her sleeve here. Maybe she's still looking for a hit and roll over to the side just with lighter weight. So we'll have a look here what the final call was. According to this, they're just going for the freeze. A little freeze tap. It's a great shot. Now they're going to try to pick that off there. So if they can just catch an eighth of this rock and send it across without hitting the yellow, they will score their deuce. But if nothing else, they would be very happy if they can ensure that they at least get their single. So great shot by Rebecca to put some real good pressure on Isabella and the Swedish team here for the last shot in the 6th end. Okay, little slippery slide there. She tried to put a little bit extra into this one. And it will work. The shooter will stick around, and with that kind of speed, took out the back. So a beautiful 2 to go up by 3 after 6 for Team Wrana over Morrison. See you after this commercial break.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed? More innovation?
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Had some questions about if our houses are painted or they logo. Our events are always painted houses, but in the future coming out, I'm pretty sure we're going to be going to all logo houses. They're a great revenue source for any curling club. You can get your advertisements on there, and usually after the first year, the houses are paid for. It's all free money for you. So hopefully check Jet Ice out for your future in-house logo.
Okay, we're back in action. This is the 7th end. The team of Isabella Wrana managed to score their deuce in 6 with some great shot making with a very upweight peel double at the end to set up her deuce. So they're up 3 going into 7. So this leaves Rebecca. Tough order. She's going to want to definitely score a deuce and try to steal her way home, or maybe possibly set up a bigger multiple end. So we're going to see how action plays out here. This shot by the yellow teams comes a little heavy, so they're both in. Behind the tee line, though, you never want to see that rock back behind that tee line. You want to control that front. So Isabel not really happy with that result, but still sitting 2 in the house, and Rebecca will ignore those stones and draw behind her corner to try to generate some rocks into the house. Now, how the teams got to this situation. Rebecca Morrison's team out of Stirling, Scotland. In their opening game, Morrison lost 6-5 to Yoshimura from Japan, then responded with a 7-3 win over Madison Fleiter out of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Then Morrison went on to lose a tight one, 6-4 against Silvana Tiranzoni from Switzerland. And then Morrison team responded back with a 4-2 win over Beth Farmer, which is another young Scottish team. So we're lucky enough to have 2 Scottish teams here representing, and that's how they got to this situation. Isabella Wrana's team, they defeated Stefania Constantini from Italy 7-6, and then went on to lose a tough one against Team Kaiser from Switzerland. Then rebounded right back with an impressive win 6-2 over Corinne Brown from Kamloops, BC. And then unfortunately lost a real nail biter against Abby Ackland, and that put them in this situation. So a do or die situation for these teams, and the winner will go on to play tonight for a qualifier spot at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. So 3 yellow rocks in play, but we do have 2 red corners, which is ideal in this situation for generate some multi-points. Plus 2 of the yellow rocks are behind the tee lines, which gives opportunity for freeze situations. And I believe that's what we're going to call for now. I imagine we're drawing behind that red corner right to the tee line and somewhat frozen to that yellow one, making it very, very difficult to remove. A very beautiful balanced slide and release here. So the sweepers are watching it and they like the looks of it. It's moving in pretty nicely. So hopefully the sweepers were able to jump on that fast enough to get it there, because the line's really good. Seems to be coming up a little short on them. So just having trouble getting those rocks right into the right spots and set up here. So girls struggling a little bit trying to find the weight in line and making it pretty tough to set up those multiple scoring ends for Team Morrison. Okay, another opportunity here to try to get one frozen around. This weight looks a little bit better and the line's pretty good, so hopefully they can weld this on. the closer they can get these rocks touching each other, the harder they are to get out. So they're going to go really hard at the end. So again, just the sweepers just leaving it a little too long. So having a little trouble judging it perfectly to get the frozen rocks, but still in a great place. Isabella is asked to hit that front red one, and if she manages to hit this straight back on the nose, she'll be able to double these out. So the young team from Scotland is going to have to work a little bit more to try to get that line on. So let's see, we got a slight bit of a miss here. So now rocks are flying everywhere. Look out. So definitely changing up the scenario here, and actually a pretty good result if you're Morrison, because now you've got one of your red rocks kind of hidden. So you're going to want to draw another one right in there. And again, not taking much ice, but I think a lot of this, I haven't been able to watch this young Scottish team throw a lot of rocks this weekend, but I have a feeling that they've been working on popping their releases a little bit, preparing for arena ice swing. So I think right now they're just kind of icing themselves a little tight and then throwing them back. As we could see, they had the broom on the center line, and this was off the center. So obviously they know how they throw, so they're playing for it, and that would explain why they're not taking much ice, is because they kind of throw it outside where the broom is. So a little bit different strategy than what you'll see from some of the teams out there, but as long as they know where it's going, that's just great. You just got to know how your team throws, and so that you can be consistent with that. So young team, early in training, trying to learn the releases for arena ice, which typically curls a lot more than what you'll see at club ice level. Although we're very fortunate here in Swift Current, this ice has lots of good movement in it, so a lot of great shots can be played. So nice safe peel of the guard, opening it up, and it'll force Morrison into trying to protect those. So she won't really be able to come in and just quite yet. She's going to have to wait. So she's going to figure out how to put another solid guard up there. So both teams feeling actually pretty comfortable in this situation. So it's just going to depend on who can come through and throw the shots that are called and play out the end. One little miss by either team could make a huge difference with only a few rocks to come. Beautiful guard, so that it covers the proper side of the rock so that they can't double those out. So now they got a choice. They can easily get to the back ones and hit them out, or they can just simply go on the guard again. So at some point, they're going to have to make a move into the house. It's just which shot that is. Or maybe she might take a run at trying to get them all. As you can see the sign from Gina there in the house. If we hit this right on the nose, we can get all three moving. And a triple at this point would be pretty huge. Sorry, that was Almeida in the Hawk. Sorry, I got the wrong player there. So Isabella is going to try to throw this right down the stick, and if they can get a nose hit here, all three could disappear for the Red Rocks. And we're close. We're going to see a little action. No, just going to be a straight peel. So again, Isabella maybe throwing a little more weight than she probably needed, but she wanted to generate lots. So anytime you throw that much weight, it's very hard to get it perfectly down your line, because there is a shoving portion that comes with that. But still a very solid shot, and first task completed. Now the team's going to have a little bit of a talk here. They're going to figure out where is the best place to put this rock. They could go with a straight guard again, allow Isabella to come down and just take out the back one, and then that would leave them a draw for 2 and leaving them 1 down coming with. Or they might want to come in and just put this in the top 12 to hopefully try to get some kind of jam opportunity, and you never know, maybe a shot for 3. So lots can happen yet. With that ice, they're definitely looking at the guard. It's just how deep do they want to gamble with the guard? Sometimes teams will want to bring it in closer to almost force the opposition into trying to make a triple or the double in hopes that if there's a little bit of miss, then they could jump on that opportunity. Front end on this a little bit early, making sure to keep a nice clean rock. So they got the brushes down, making sure nothing can catch it. So both line callers and sweepers are pretty happy with it so far. Communication's good. It looks like you're going to end up with a halfway guard, and mission accomplished. So now they're going to look and probably just try to take out the back one safely and basically be content with conceding a deuce here by a well-played end by Team Morrison. Now, being so close together, you'd think, well, that's just a double opportunity, but in theory, you could double that out by hitting the top one first, but it is extremely thin, and you would just have to touch it with weight enough to push it all the way out, and then it could possibly hit the back one. So with this ice, the way they have it, they're making sure that they hit one out, and if they can get the double, obviously that would be a huge bonus. So we got weight coming back here again. Early sweep, gotta make sure. Oh my gosh. Oh, and she just hairs the front. Almost a catastrophe there by throwing that a little tight. If that would have caught the top guard, but it didn't, and it hit the back one safely. And so now we got a free draw for 2. So Team Morrison all sweeping up, making sure they clean house. So now they got a free draw to the full 8 and get their deuce, and then they'll see if they can steal their way home to keep this game going. Well, that's definitely a sigh of relief for Isabella there. After seeing that halfway down, I'm sure panic was hitting them when they saw that guard coming so close there and would have given the opportunity for 3. But the great, strong sweeping by the team managed to get that by. And now here's last rock to get their deuce. Great solid end by Team Morrison and accomplished the task of getting their 2 back. And we're going to go into commercial break with a scoring of Wrana 6, Morrison 5.
Hello everyone and welcome to the 2022 Western Showdown, the largest international women's curling event in Canada this season. We're so glad you've decided to join us to see some of the top female curlers in the world participate in this event. My name is Jim Grundy. I'm the branch director of RBC Dominion Securities here in Swift Current. Our branch is not only a huge fan and support of curling in our community, we're so proud to be supporting the Western Showdown for its inaugural year. RBC is committed to working with our community partners to promote and celebrate vibrancy in sport in the communities in which we live. Thank you to everyone from the Western Showdown team for putting together this amazing event. On behalf of RBC, enjoy the tournament.
Sasktel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? Sasktel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Welcome back from our commercial break and showing all our important sponsors out there. We are in the 8th end of the game between Team Morrison of Scotland and Team Wrana from Sweden for the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown in Swift Current, Saskatchewan, Canada. Thanks to Sasktel Curling Stadium for putting on such opportunities for all these curlers to showcase their talents by having all games live streamed right out of Swift Current. And so people from all over the world are able to tune in and join in to see the action of their family members or friends, or just maybe you're a curling fan in general. So just thanks again to Curling Stadium for taking a big part in making sure that we get curling shown all around the world as it happens. We are in a nail biter here for those that just joined in. With Team Wrana, Isabella, she has a 1-point lead and she has the hammer, so she's in good shape right now. Morrison is going to fight hard to see if they can steal their way into an extra end. So they're going to keep throwing up guards, and we have one, and unfortunately just didn't quite get to the center line, so it's allowing Isabella the chance to do a little tick as they did on the front one, and looks like they've got another successful shot. So 2 perfect ticks there by Maria Larson. So just fantastic. Should be some bonus points on those percentages for sure, as those are not easy shots. And one of the new rules in curling that they've adapted now is to try to make it a little bit interesting is if Team Morrison, if Sophie Jackson could have got those rocks touching the center line, they aren't allowed to be moved over to the corner. So it makes for a lot more exciting ends when you can keep those center guards established. But unfortunately, the team and Sophie just couldn't find that right line to get their center guards touching the center line. So that opened the opportunity to do the split, and Maria made no qualms about that. She's ready to do it, and two perfect splits to open the house up. And now Isabella's gonna be able to breathe a little bit easier. So now they're going to be able to just simply peel their way through and keep things open. And Rebecca's just going to have to hope for a jam to make things interesting here. And not a total jam, but definitely not where they wanted to end up. So now Rebecca has a little more hope where she has something to slightly hide behind, at least on the edge of the 4. So now they're going to figure out where they want to put another guard. They're going to want to try to get something on the center line. They just might choose to go a little bit higher, but she's pointed now. And that's what they're going to go with. So in zone 1/2, so just over the hog line and close to the middle. And a big part is why you wouldn't want to go with a tight guard versus a higher guard is if they put the higher guard on now, you can see on both sides there's opportunity for jams. And at this point, the Morrison team's trying to figure out some way that they're going to get a lucky break so that they can take advantage of it. And the only way to do that is most likely creating a jam situation. So by putting a rock up above these ones, it's going to make it much tougher for Team Wrana to be able to take that rock and move it over each side. So they're just trying to create some opportunity for a jam. And at this point, you're kind of just hoping for some sort of miss either way, so that you can take advantage of that and get one into the 4-foot. There's a nice hit and roll, so there's definitely no mistake there and no jam. So replace once, but Rebecca's gonna try it again, put another one up there, and again, you're just hoping for some sort of miss at this point, and she's just gonna try to get this maybe a little bit closer to that yellow to see if she can create some excitement here, and a little bit of hope for their team to be able to hide something. Another good solid shot, just over the hog line. Move it up a little bit, and again, just hoping that they have some opportunity here. And here we go. So now we have a little bit of a miss. So a little bit of jam happened there, and they had to replace some rocks as they come off the sideboards. But now all of a sudden, Rebecca has some options. She's got a tight red one to the house. She's got a yellow one just off the center line. So now if they have a couple choices. They can put another tight center guard up, or they can choose to come right into the house now and get into the 4-foot and then try to replace their guards after that. Again, little choice on what style you want to play. There's still three of their rocks to come, so most likely most would go in at this point. It's getting late enough in the end, and there is a guard there, so you're trying to make that, put this right on the tee line, right on the edge of the 4, and then after that, just do your best at guarding. It looks like the girls. Really good line coming in here. So it looks like they were actually just trying to place another guard. So guess they wanted a tighter guard in case they go run the yellow, but a little bit different strategy there than maybe I would have played. But again, you just never know what plans work out here. So this gives actually Isabella a chance to double off those reds now and simply leave just a high yellow guard. So we're pretty close here, and that's exactly what happened. So they got the reds off there. So a little backfire on Rebecca's strategy to put another one out front rather than coming in, but I can assure you now, with only 2 rocks to come, they're definitely going to be thinking about where to put this one. So again, the 2 choices that you're kind of looking at now with only 2 rocks to play is coming around that yellow guard and putting it right on the tee line, so that you're trying to shrink up the rings for the last shot and hoping your opponents draw and give you a chance to steal that way. or you put a really tight guard around that yellow one so that when they peel the yellow, then you can come around your red one, which will be a lot tighter, making the last shot a lot tougher. So they would have had this discussion ahead of time, as teams will have that kind of strategy planned out ahead of time. I didn't see where they put the final tap here, so I'm not sure what they're going to go with here, but we're going to find out shortly. The sweepers aren't jumping it, which means they're happy with the weight call that was made. Watching the line, this looks like it's fantastic line. So now we just got to decide what their strategy was. And it looks like they just wanted to do the tight guard. So mission accomplished. They got something just into the rings. And now a very interesting call right back by Isabella here, as they cannot see much of that rock. And she was going to come down and try to hit a piece of that red, even though it's second shot right now. Normally what you would see teams do in this situation is just run up and peel off their yellow and force the opposition into making a very, very tough draw around a very, very tight guard. But she's decided she wants to get rid of that red one and leave the longer shot. So let's see what happens here. Looks like it's pretty good so far. Oh, and she just hugged this. What a curling shot. So now she's going to roll over, and so Rebecca will waste absolutely no time here. Now she's going to go to top four and try to bury this and force Isabella into throwing a very similar rock and hoping for the best. We can't hear what they're talking about, but I can assure you right now they're talking about the weight and just seeing if it's tightened up a little bit. A lot of times on ice by the 7th and 8th end, that the ice gets a little stickier just from getting flatter. So you'll simply see a little bit more curl, and you need to throw a little bit more weight. So she would have been checking out to see what kind of weight she needs. The front ends is issued that they have enough weight for the shot. So now it'll be more line dependent as they backed off, and they're just letting this come to a rest. So line is pretty good. Now they just need this rock to sit as close to that tee line as possible. All right, that slid a little deeper than they want, but they are shot rock, and they are mostly covered. So now again, depends on the type of play you'd like. You have full four, or basically almost full 8 to draw into for the win, or if teams feel more comfortable with the hit, they are showing a quarter rock on the outside, and so they could throw the hits. But Isabella is confident with throwing the draw, and she's going to have a quick talk to her girls and get herself settled into this hack and just play a straightforward draw shot. Let her sweepers do the rest of the work and take the victory. And
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2022 Western Showdown, the largest international women's curling event in Canada this season. We're so glad you've decided to join us to see some of the top female curlers in the world participate in this event. My name is Jim Grundy. I'm the branch director of RBC Dominion Securities here in Swift Current. Our branch is not only a huge fan and supporter of curling in our community, we're so proud to be supporting the Western Showdown for its inaugural year. RBC is committed to working with our community partners to promote and celebrate vibrancy in sport in the communities in which we live. Thank you to everyone from the Western Showdown team for putting together this amazing event. On behalf of RBC, enjoy the tournament.